Hey everyone, I'm back. I have a apology or a confession to make. Not so much an apology, but rather, well, maybe an apology, I'm not sure. I've obviously been promising to a couple of people that I speak to for a while now that I would get round to doing a video of this and this. However, at the moment, circumstances have kind of taken a slight turn. I'm not sure how many of you remember me moaning about my video capture device, but it was giving me problems and I ended up buying a new one, which is this. What I didn't account for was that it seems now I'm in a situation where this device does not like NTSC format games. I have tried, and what basically I am doing at the moment is I send the picture from the Dreamcast to this, and then from here to this, and obviously from here it plugs into the computer. The situation I'm in at the moment is that although I can see the picture while using this, the picture is pretty horrible. I mean, you can see it clearly, but what happens is it looks like it's echoed or repeated or chopped up or something. I'm not sure how it's worked, but basically what's happened is there seems to be like 3 little black bars at the bottom where it looks like the picture should have started at the bottom, but it didn't. Sorry, I forgot to put my phone on mute. It's one of those days, one of those weeks. Yeah, so anyway, bottom line is the picture is not centered. The picture is at the top of the screen and you lose a little bit off the top, and what ends up happening is if I were to do a video, you'd be able to see what it was, but it would be less than good quality. It would just, I wouldn't feel happy with putting it up, and I wouldn't want to give you guys that kind of shit video, basically. So for the time being, until I find another solution, I may end up having to buy a different one of these. I may have to buy the same one I had before, just a new one, because that one was failing, so I may have to buy that device again, because I knew that one at least gave me a picture. Because those of you who have watched my channel, you've seen videos of my imports before. I have been able to do them. 7th Cross, for example, Elemental Gimmick Gear, Ikaruga. I've done import videos for the Dreamcast. It just doesn't seem to accept it via this device. It doesn't seem to like it, so the picture ends up being too high. The bottom part of the picture is a couple of black bars where you can see the picture's broken and gone up and broken and gone up. So anyway, I apologise profusely for failing to deliver on my promise for the time being. I will try to do these very soon again, hopefully, but I'm not sure when that's going to be, so I apologise for that. I'm quite happy with this though. This is a custom made case, obviously PAL. I got it from a very awesome guy called Gary. He is contactable if you guys want one. I have spoken to him and he said it was fine for me to mention him and give his contact details, so his email address will be in the comments below. But yeah, it's just really high quality. It's obviously the PAL styling, which is always, as far as I'm concerned, it was always the best. Who the hell wants a video game in a CD case, like, you know, in America or Japan? I mean, fuck that. At least this stands out as a video game. Yeah, so he did the artwork on the front, some amazing artwork, really professional looking on the back, looks really good, printed really well. The disc is in the PAL style, very professionally done again, and as far as I'm aware it works fine. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but this only cost me, including postage, about £16. And he did the disc, he did the software on the disc, he did the artwork, the case, he really packaged it well. And his email address is dreamcasting@btinternet.com. So I would highly recommend that if you want Frame Gride in its PAL form, you contact him. Obviously he is only charging for the materials that he has used and the service that he's providing to you, i.e. the postage, the packaging, the printing of it, the case, the disc. That's it. Obviously he's not charging anything else. There's nothing illegal here. He's literally just charging you for his very high quality, really good standard of work, of artwork and presentation. I'm really happy with that. So anyway, as a way of saying sorry for cocking up on my Dreamcast imports, I've decided to do a video of some Saturn games. One I haven't got the case handy for, which is Deep Fear, which is one of my favourite PAL region games. I'm not sure if it came out in any other region. I'm not 100% sure. Bloody phone. Sorry, I keep forgetting it's not on silent. Anyway, yeah. So one of them I haven't got to hand. It's Deep Fear. That is that is one of the last games that came out on the Saturn. It was a Resident Evil clone, basically, but I actually really loved it. The only point that I would say you need to watch out for is the really, really, really piss poor voice acting. But it's so bad, it's one of those ones where it's so bad it's actually really funny. Or it's so bad it's good, however you want to play it, however you want to say it. The other one that I've got, which I really like and I really want to show you guys, is this on the Saturn, because I'm going to try and chop and change between Dreamcast and Saturn and other consoles as well, is this one. I mentioned this in one of my updates not too long ago, and I really like it. I think for the Saturn it's graphically superb, and it's one of those rare games where, as you can see from the pictures on the back, it has live actors doing the cutscenes. Normally, in the 90s, they were fucking horrible. Totally, hands down, the worst part of any video game was the god-awful acting in the cutscenes. Deep Fear being a case in point. Okay, it's just voice acting, but it was still really bad. But this one, they actually took time and put effort into it and got people who could actually act and got people who took it seriously. And the cutscenes are actually really, really good, and they add to the atmosphere of the game. And I highly recommend that anyone who's got a Saturn buy this and buy it now, because it's brilliant. It's really good. It's really challenging. You're flying along. It's almost like Star Fox on the Saturn, or slightly like Battlemorph, or you know, cross between Battlemorph and Star Fox. You're basically flying along as a ship, and you can you know, destroying things. It's fairly on rails. It's fairly linear, but the path you can take has, like, you know, there'll be optional parts to it. You could go left or right. Maybe left may have more enemies, but is easier to navigate, or maybe right will have no enemies, but it's harder to navigate. There are power-ups that you pick up. There's all manner of enemies that you can kill. And yeah, it's brilliant. I'm really, really loving delving into my Saturn collection, delving into the Saturn catalogue, because there are so many hidden gems that I knew nothing about. Because I only really had about 50 or so games on the Saturn, and I didn't realise that there were probably over 200 in the PAL region, and there's probably that again in Japan. So I've been picking up some quality Saturn games. One other last thing that I will say before you watch the footage from Deep Fear. Does anybody have a game on the Saturn in the PAL region that they want to sell me called Highway 2000? It's a part of the Shotoku Battle series that was on the Dreamcast under the name of Tokyo Highway Challenge, or Tokyo Extreme Racer, or Shotoku Battle, and it was one of the first ones in that series, and it was on the Saturn, and I saw it the other day at Kieran's place. I really liked it. It's sort of hard to get into, but once you get into it, it was really good. And it's just apparently incredibly hard to come by. So if anyone has that somewhere and they've got a spare copy, or they don't want it anymore, and they'd be willing to accept maybe £15–20 for it, please, please, please give me a shout and let me know, because I really want that game. Anyway, enjoy Deep Fear. I'm really sorry about Frame Gride and D2 and my imports on the Dreamcast. I will try to salvage that situation as soon as possible. Otherwise, enjoy Deep Fear, and I'll see you soon.